This is the Narrowboat review for December the 28th, a Monday. And I am Jack Beyer, your Narrowboat reviewer. Today is Monday, and here in Crystal Beach, Florida, the weather's great. But I still wish I was on the cut somewhere in the Lester Ring. Oh well. Had a lot of comments since yesterday's vlog, and most of them, shame on me, well deserved. I had promised not to say anything bad about certain vlogs that I did. It will not be repeated. Today, I watched 10 vlogs for a total of a little over 3 hours. Now, I didn't spend 3 hours watching vlogs. I do use my fast forward, except on those that I really enjoy. And let's talk about one of those right now. Of the 10 vlogs, my favorite was definitely Minimalist. They are on the Rochdale near the top. They've got one lock to go. And when they get up there, they're all excited because that will be the 26th point that they have achieved on the silver propeller. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with the silver propeller, it's a challenge award given by the Inland Waterways. And what it is they take a look at those parts of the canal network that are little used or need more use. And in order to encourage you to visit them or other people to visit them, they say, do all of these 20 of all of the ones that are out there, and there's 3 dozen maybe, and more are being added. Do 20, we'll give you a plaque, and I don't know what others, but it's just it's like a recognition. How many of you folks have got the little brass plaques, nailed to your somewhere on the woodwork of your narrowboat that says, I did the Rochdale Canal, or I did the Grand Union, or I did the Langockland, etc. I think they're nice. I've got them at home. I don't. Every time I went, like a silly person, I brought them home and paid shipping on all that weight. There was somebody, I was doing a review of their vlog, and they had bought an older boat, and they took all of the plaques down. And they said, we're just not into plaques. Now, I can see taking the plaques down if you haven't earned them. But just to take them down and pitch them, I'm going, oh, my Lord, where am I? Put them in a flea market, or what do you call it, boot sale there? Put it in a boot sale, I'll be there. Anywho, 10 vlogs today. Minimalist is my favorite, and the reason is they treat the vlog as a business. Yeah, they've got merch. The maps that I showed you the other day that Joe does, they're excellent. And I wish Joe would do a map like that and put all of the 20 points or however many points she can on her map so you can see where they are. I have not found a map that really does it. There's one online, and as you zoom in on it, it shows you the points on the canal network, but there's not a printed map somewhere that does that. So when they get to the top, they're at 26. Now they come down the other side, and on the way down, they run into another higher boat, not the same one that they had from previous vlogs. And they accompany them through the locks, and they're very appreciative of the fact that there's another boat to help work the locks. Along the way, what is typical of that crew is Michael works the tiller, and Joe does just about everything else. She walks the dog along the towpath. She takes copious vlogs and videos of Michael in the boat. She sets up the shots like a director would. If she misses something, she uses her walkie-talkie to call back to Michael and say, hey, as we go around that big wall, take a picture of it. I didn't get it. And the fact that they're both working on the same purpose and they're so well choreographed in it, you get to watch their dance. That's what makes that one valuable. They tell me about the locks, they tell me about the canal, they tell me about the local points of interest and history. They just make the trip very enjoyable, and it makes me want to follow in their footsteps. So that's why they're out there. They've got a vlog. I encourage you to watch it. The next one that I really enjoyed was Narrowboat Chef. And I'm laughing because in yesterday's vlog I said I didn't like cooking shows. Typically I don't. But in this one, Maggie and Ryan are challenging her mother and her sister Bobby to a cooking challenge to see who can make the prettiest, fanciest gingerbread house. They did split screens with one couple is in Australia and the other couple is on the canal. Nothing about narrowboats, nothing about canals, strictly cooking, but thoroughly enjoyable. The banter and the repartee between the two of them was just excellent. I enjoyed it. It was worth it. It was like 41 minutes. Give it 10. Just skip around. But it's a funny vlog. It's entertaining. The next one that I liked was Earl Wrights. That's Earle or Wriga. Writ. I'm going to put a title up when I finish this. I'll put a title in so you can see how to spell that. But it's Earl Wrights, Writes. Earl is kind of, I don't know where that name came from because this is Liz. And Liz is a very intelligent woman who is determined to live off the grid. She bought an older 32-foot narrow beam called the Leviathan, and she is in North Kilworth Wharf fixing it up. And if you had seen any of her earlier vlogs, you would have seen what a wreck it was. She got it for what she feels was cheap, but she's really put love, attention, and money into it. In this episode, the reason why I thought it was worthwhile to watch was she is showing you all of the progress that she's made, and it is so significant. Her dad's there. First time we've seen her dad. She goes through some of the kitchen appliances, the sink, the water heater, the hob top. We call them stove tops. You guys call them hobs. Okay. And she shows you what they are, and they're all very nice. And she shows you the price. She made a mistake on one thing, and it was the hot water heater. She bought a hot water heater and it vented on the wrong side. But she shows you the price. She shows you how she got out of it. It shows you somebody doing something well, and with a very light heart. And she's got a certain amount of moxie that really pulls it all off. I recommend that vlog. Next, Paul. This is one that is no longer around. But for those people out there that are thinking of buying a narrowboat, and I'm slanting this a little bit towards my fellow Americans, or actually any expat who doesn't live in the UK. If you're thinking of buying a narrowboat, there is an American who's passed, but he and his wife, this was Sam and Helen. They had a vlog called Buying a Narrowboat. And I'm just double checking. Yes. He died in 2019, the fall of 2019, and they sold the boat. And I bet you that boat was a beaut. He very matter-of-factly tells you that he came over like I did. Well, mine was a honeymoon. His was a vacation, and they were in England. They saw a boat, and they thought, gee, wouldn't that be fun? So they rented it. They took their 2 kids, and they had a ball. So much so that within a year or 2, they decided to retire. And he goes through the process that he used to buy a narrowboat. The reason why I went back to that one today and saw it is because I'm going through that same process, and I'm developing a spreadsheet that tells me these are the features I'd like to have in a narrowboat. I know I won't get them all. There's 3 or 4 that I gotta have, but I won't get them all. But you know, it's a nice starting tool to get your mind going as to what it is that you're going to be looking for. They did 4 or 5 vlogs. They're worth going back to look at. Helen, his wife, is an artist, and her work is beautiful. And what they would do is every time they went under a bridge, or often when they went under a bridge, Helen would take one of her artworks and stick it up on the bridge. It would be right up there in the girder somewhere, or on the rampart, or somewhere within easy reach of a narrowboat. And they were called bombs. These were Helen's bombs. And if any of you have got a Helen's bomb, I'd love just to hear about it. And if you could take a picture of it, give it the provenance. I think those are going to be worth some money someday. And also, just like Paul from Narrowboat Life Unlocked, his stuff's going to be worth a lot of money someday, especially the originals. People are collecting them already. Okay, the other one that is no longer with us on narrowboats, and actually they're still there, thank goodness, but most of their stuff is on abandoned train stations. And this is Paul and Rebecca Whitewick. This week they did a vlog on an abandoned train, but they followed a canal. It followed the Andover to Red Bridge Canal. And it's just a beautiful history. And these two, they love to tease each other. And this time they were a little more of that than normal. I think that was kind of forced, this vlog, but still enjoyable. Normally when they just are themselves, it's funnier. But they get into some unbelievable scrapes at times and situations. But it's always humorous. It's always fun to watch. And this week's was fun to watch too. So if you've got 15 minutes, there you are. The other one that I recommended was buying a narrowboat. That was, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Narrowboat Chef, I told you, was 41. 30 minutes for Minimalist. And I think there's another one I wanted to talk about. Nope, that's it. That's it. That's your narrowboat review for today. I hope it makes your narrowboat viewing easier. I'm not telling you now to watch the others that I didn't tell you about today. Have at it. We all have our favorites. I'm just telling you today what mine are for this day. Sometimes I may not want to recommend the Narrowboat Chef. Sometimes I may. It all depends. How did it strike me? How did that vlog hit me today? You've got the results. This is Jack Byer, your narrowboat reviewer, saying goodbye.